These days, sales philosophy is full of advice like add value or challenge your prospect's thinking. And yes, that matters. But here's the catch. If your message doesn't land, none of it matters. You can have the best insights, the sharpest strategy, ask the best questions, and still miss the mark entirely. Because it's not about what you say, it's about what the other person hears, understands, and acts on. My name is Rashid Kotwal with another Sales Insight. One of the foundational principles in neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, nails this. It says the meaning of your communication is the response you get. In other words, your success depends on how well you adapt to their world, their lens, their internal processing. So let me tell you about my old mate John. John's a tall, heavily built guy with a deep, gravelly voice. He speaks really slowly. One day I said to him, John, I get the feeling that when I say something to you, it goes in at the top of your head and slowly sinks all the way down to your toes and back all the way up. And only then do you process it and respond. He thought about it, nodded, and said, absolutely. So whatever you're communicating, it's your responsibility to make sure the other person understands you, not the other way around. Now in sales, people don't just buy products or ideas. They buy how you make them feel. They buy when they feel understood, when the communication is tuned to their frequency. Years ago, I asked the client how long he needed to decide. He thought about it and he said, I need to digest the information. I said, how long will that take? He said 3 days. And sure enough, 3 days later, he was ready. And then, donkeys years ago, there was the head of the New Zealand Banking Association. I was a young consultant and I handed him a carefully written 200-page report. He looked at me, waved his hands exactly like this, and he said, draw me a picture, Rashid. I don't want to read this. At the time, I can tell you I was pretty annoyed. But he was right. I had communicated in the way that I liked, not the way he needed. Whether someone's visual, auditory, or kinesthetic, whether they want the big picture or the tiny detail, it's your job to adapt. So here's the rub. If your message isn't being received, it doesn't matter how brilliant it is. So if you want to improve your influence and have your message land and build trust that leads to action, give me a call. I can work with you to help you close more deals faster with less effort. Till next time, this is Rashid Kotwal.